You want to know how to cope with life's challenges. And you might be even facing an insurmountable challenge right now in your life. And in this video, I want to talk with you about what challenges are, how challenges are actually serving us in our life, how you can frame them differently, as well as a personal story of how I've confronted challenges and how you can do the same thing. So let's get right to it. Challenges can be looked at in one of two ways. You can see challenges as an external event that happens to us. We get demoted, we might get sick, we might even lose a loved one if it's as drastic as that. Or we can see challenges in a more constructive light. We can see challenges as events that are happening for us. Events that are here to teach us a lesson, to show us a new insight, and to help us to grow into a new version of ourselves. A friend of mine once gave me this equation that he called E plus R equals O. Events are going to happen in our lives. Things are always going to come up. Things are always going to be thrown in our direction. Things are always going to happen to us or for us. But it's not what happens to us. It's not the obstacle or the event that matters. Because we can't control those things. We can't control whether something is going to come out of the blue and totally shake up our entire world and our entire existence. But the one thing that we can control is how we react to the event. Because the way in which you react to a challenge or an obstacle is what will determine your eventual outcome. E plus R equals O. And if something happens to you and you react in a victim mentality, if you say to yourself, oh, it sucks that this happened to me. Why did this happen now? Why couldn't this have waited until next week? Why is this happening to me when this other thing has already happened so recently? Woe is me, woe is me. And listen, we all know people like this. You might even know someone like this in a very intimate way. This might even be you at some points. And listen, if it is, then you might be angry. You might be thinking, oh, screw Brandon. How does he know how this thing works? Well, I'm going to share with you a story of how exactly I know how this works. But you can think of woe is me, and you can react in that way. Or you can react in a way such as, why did this challenge happen for me? What is this challenge trying to teach me? What are the lessons that I can take away from this challenge, and how can I use them in order to prevent another challenge from happening to me in the future? Right now, I want you to think of a past challenge or an obstacle that you've had in your own life. A big one. I want you to think of like one of the most challenging situations you've been in. And really quickly, I just want you to go back to the person that you were before this challenge was even a thing in your life. And I want you to think of your skills, your abilities, and your mentality at that point in your life. Think of how you were before this big challenge happened for you. And now I want you to think of yourself after you overcame that challenge. After you got to the other side, after that challenge wasn't even a challenge for you anymore, what kind of person were you now? What kind of lessons was that challenge or obstacle trying to teach you? And you're probably thinking of that challenge right now and you're thinking to yourself, well, yeah, I did come out of that event stronger than when I first went into it or when it first happened for me. And it reminds me of me back 5, 6, 7 years ago at a sales job that I worked at. I was doing really well for myself, but when I wanted to move up into leadership, the managers and the leaders looked at me and they gave me a challenge. They said, Brandon, there's no way you're going to be a leader in our company right now. And this really crushed me because this was a huge challenge for me. The team didn't respect me. I didn't have the approval of the people above me to move into a manager or a leader position. And to me, this was an insurmountable challenge. To me, it made me think, well, what's the point? I even went to look for a different job and everything. Until the point came where I decided that I wanted to react differently. And the way that I reacted was instead to gain the respect of the people I worked around. It taught me the lesson of maybe if I want to move into a leadership position and help serve other people, maybe the way I can react is to start helping people now. So the event of not moving into leadership caused me to react at first with a victim mentality. But since that victim mentality didn't get me anywhere, I instead decided to react in a way of self-improvement and growing and becoming a stronger and more skilled and a higher abilitied version of myself. And once I reacted in that way to this challenge, the outcome was within 6 months, I gained the respect of the team. Within 6 months, I became a sales trainer and I began training new salespeople to improve their own life. And this has led me to where I am today. And it wouldn't have happened if I didn't react in that way. And listen, I know that there are some challenges that are harder than others, and that's why this YouTube channel exists. This channel exists to give you strategies and tips and techniques to help you overcome the challenges in your life. So don't miss any videos that we release. Hit the subscribe button here and hit the bell so you're notified of all those new videos. And if this has been helpful for you so far, then hit the like button here so that this video can be shown to more people. But just understand that whatever's happening for you in your life is trying to teach you a lesson. We wouldn't be who we are today if challenging things and difficult things didn't happen to us. These things are only happening because it's molding us and it's grooming us into who we were ultimately meant to become. So when these challenges appear, be aware of them and notice them and say to yourself, I can overcome this challenge because I've overcome other challenges. You are a strong individual. You are a tough individual who's overcome challenges and events in the past, and you can do the same exact thing this time because you do difficult things. One of the number one things that stops us from overcoming our challenges are expectations. Expectations of who we are, expectations of other people, and expectations about how things should go down. And recently I did an interview with an expert named Ben Winter, and I want you to watch that video next because it will help you to overcome and maybe even prevent challenges in your life and create more joy in the process. Check it out, and until we talk again next time, continue to be better.